The internet's an incredibly powerful tool. We don't know what all it can do. And so to try to restrict it and regulate it today down to the terms of the past would be a gigantic mistake. Now, it is disruptive, and disruption is disliked by institutions and the powerful. That's life. And so we've got to protect that tool. Who will protect our tool finally? Is it companies? Well, I'm a Google fanboy. I wrote a book about Google, but Google has to be a company. And even though it does protect our interests a lot, it also does what I think are devil's deals with the phone company about net neutrality and such. It's a company. It can't protect us. Will government protect us? I went to the EG8 in Paris, and Sarkozy was talking about civilizing the net, and I had the temerity to stand up and ask him to take a Hippocratic oath for the net. First, do no harm. She dismissed. Government, if we put the power in the hands, this is the point of SOPA, if we put the power in the hands of government and companies to kill a site, to blacklist a site because of alleged piracy, then those same tools can be used by any government to kill speech. That's the issue. There's a principle at work here. So at the end of the book, I come around and I argue that we must have a discussion about principles. That government cannot protect the internet and its openness because it's out of its interests. Same with companies. We, the people of the net, must. And the SOPA fight is the first time I'm seeing the net as a public rise up to a principle. And I think it's very, very, very important. So I propose some principles at the end. I will say right off the bat that they're the wrong ones, but I just want to have a discussion about them because that's what we're really doing, is building a new world around principles. So the ones I propose are that we have a right to connect. Not that government should pay for your connection to the internet, but if government cuts off your connection, I think that's a violation of your human rights, Mr. Mubarak. We have a right to speak, our First Amendment. We have a right to act and assemble on that basis. Privacy, as I say, I think is an ethic of knowing someone else's information. Publicness is an ethic of sharing your own information. Government and institutions' information, not our individual information, but government and institutions, including companies' information, should become public by default, private by necessity. And there are necessities again. I'm forgetting one. Ashamed of myself. But I know where to go. What's public is a public good. And I didn't go into all this here, but when Germany pressures Google into blurring photos in Google Street View, because people don't like this, pictures that were taken from a public street of a public view, then I say that what they've reduced is the public good, the public sphere. And if you can tell Google not to, can you tell journalists not to? Can you tell citizens not to? It's an issue of principle. It sounds good, but it doesn't work well in a free society. Finally, two last principles. That all bits are created equal. That if a bit on the net that can't travel from here to here, it's restricted, it's slowed down, it's detoured, whether that's by a company or a government. If one bit is restricted, then no bits can be presumed to be free. That's the issue today. And finally, the architecture of the net must remain open and distributed. The net itself defies anyone claiming sovereignty over it, whether you are China or France or the US or Time Warner. And that's what makes the internet and has to stay that way.